Hey there, it's Holly. So last night I watched Tomorrow Never Dies, and loved it. There are like those Bond movies or just movies in general that when you play it, you automatically vibe with it instantly. This is one of those. Um, Pretty much from the beginning, I vibe with it. When, okay, so this is gonna be weird, but and I feel like this happened with another Bond. I feel like maybe more. Maybe. I need to think about them again, but I know it's for one of them for sure, where this one felt much more like an introduction to Brosnan Bond than I feel like GoldenEye did. Like GoldenEye in general did, but I'm talking about like the pre-title sequence, where then this one Bond is stopping like a terrorist expo weapons buying thing, but like the way it's handled is much more of an introduction to Bond, I think. Um, even the it's weird. So a lot of Brosnan stuff does feel like more, but done better. Even like a little bit of Connery stuff, but done better. But I don't know, maybe it's occasionally Dalton too. It's really like Brosnan's where you see the improvements of each version of Bond. But because of that, you get well, at least with the more part, the villains committing their like first big act of falsifying the GPS stuff to have it look like the Chinese is attacking the British ship. And while that's happening, they're stealing the cruise missile and stuff like that. It's more era, a little bit Connery era completely, but better paced, better handled. Before I get too far though, remember, please, if you like my stuff, please consider subscribing. I try and post, not quite daily, but almost every other day, if not like every third day or so. But please consider subscribing, leaving a like. If you don't really like subscribing, please leave a like anyway. It does help. Comment if you agree with me. If you disagree with me on anything, please let me know. It's always fun to have a discussion in the comments. Share this amongst your friends, who also like Bond. If you are subscribed, hit that notification bell so you know when I post. Um, yeah. So, I will say this before I get too deep. I did like GoldenEye's song a whole lot better than this one. This one by Sheryl Crow, which was good, but not great. It's middle of the pack for me. Like it's upper middle maybe. I like once I re-listen to all the songs and stuff, I'll see which one I like where this places, but it doesn't reach GoldenEye at all. But we do get our introduction to a really great villain, one that's was relevant then, but way more so now. The media mogul, Elliot Carver. Um, Within the movie, at least, he's in control of TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, which he says a whole lot of times. Uh, but his whole thing is that he can essentially manipulate the news. He knows everything ahead of time. He influences politicians and stuff. He can even be like, within the course of this movie, like, oh, let me know how many survivors of this shipwreck there is. And then, like, the survivors get killed. And then he's like, okay, so 17 survivors killed, blah, blah, blah. Like, that kind of media manipulation that we're seeing nowadays, they were doing in the 90s. I mean, granted, like even in the movie, he points this out, saying that near the end, he says, "This has been happening forever." William Randolph Hearst, the newspaper mogul, who famously or infamously inspired Citizen Kane, said, "What was it? You give me the pictures, I'll provide you the war." It's media for you. But we get an introduction to him. We get our introduction to our smart villain this time, like our smart henchman, who doesn't have the same gravitas or entertainment as Boris. But, he's still good. He brings in a good vibe. Like, it's more like if you know him. Like, it's a lot of character actors in this one, I would say. Because even Now the smart henchman is by he's like I think the cameraman, cinematographer for or editor I think, and Boogie Nights. Um, but the chilling henchman, I guess, the doctor, a pain, torture, Dr. Kaufman, you would recognize as the organ grinder, I guess, was his role. Maybe circus ringmaster? Maybe? In Batman Returns, the one with the monkey. Um, he was in a bunch of Tim Burton movies. Uh, yeah, the cast in this one's insane because you got those guys. You got Jonathan Pryce as Carver. You have Michelle Yeoh as Wei Lin, early Michelle Yeoh. You have Terry Hatcher in it briefly. Um, Joe Don Baker is back as what is his name? Wade. In it. Let me see other. Yeah, Jeffrey Palmer. You've seen tons of stuff too. Oh yeah, he was in Paddington. Yeah, like the amount of people you've seen this be like, oh my God, yes, this person, that person, that person. But anyway, um, no, I vibed with this one almost instantly. Like this is like I feel like this one's underlooked. I may be wrong. It may be like it's having a reevaluation kind of thing, but I feel like it's underlooked because when I think of Brosnan movies, I think like this is just my interpretation as someone relatively still new into the deep Bond fandom. GoldenEye is the one most people know of Brosnan as the good one, more so I think due to the game. Um, this one may be known more for like the Michelle Yeoh scenes or even the Dr. Kaufman scene, maybe, or like a little bit of Carver's stuff. Um, World's Not Enough is mostly derided. General audience, general people deride it for Denise Richards. Now, Bond fans know better, but and then Die Another Day, well, it's known for being Die Another Day. Uh, but this one I feel like it's underrated because this one's like incredibly good. The action scenes, no matter which one it is really good. Like when the weakest action scene is the opening, that says a lot because the opening is really good too. Um, the car scenes are great. Like the whole um, action scene in the garage is amazing. Um, just him, in the back controlling the car, just having a blast. Like you can see on Bronson's face, visibly happy, like like excited to work. Like, like that's really fun. Like it's fun when you see them having fun. Um, the whole chase through, a yes, yeah, yes. Near the end, where Michelle Yeoh and Bond are on the motorcycle and they're handcuffed together, so they keep having to switch positions and stuff and outrun a helicopter going all the way like over streets and through buildings and stuff. So good, so fun, so great. I love it. And then they go into like her base because Michelle Yeoh's character is essentially the Chinese version of Bond. Um, and they go into her area, her base, and you see their version of their gadgets and stuff. I love it. I love like they have a really good rapport, and I love that like she's not the typical Bond girl in that yes, it ends with them kissing, but it's not like it's not the type where it's like the Moore era, Connery era, or whatever. It was like they sleep together to the end. It's just they kiss after surviving, like almost dying, and he saved her life. Like Terry Hatcher fills that role, but she's more of the sacrifice role. Like then you always have the two Bond girls, like the sacrifice and the main one. She's the sacrifice role. I will say though, as much as I like this one, I like this one a whole lot better than GoldenEye. Like 99% better than GoldenEye. That 1%, or maybe 5% or whatever, you know what I mean, is the henchman. Um, this suffered greatly from final, not like because GoldenEye had Boris and Natalia. No, Onatopp. Onatopp, like those two are so good villains, so amazing villains, like hench villains that that they didn't only outshine um, Trevelyan, but like they made that movie, and this one is one of those ones that has a lot of henchmen, and the one that stands out the most is Dr. Kaufman because of his chilliness. Like that's the thing. It's like you won't really remember this like smart hacker villain too much, and the main villain, like the main henchman, the like tough one, Stamper fills the role of like the heavy, and that's his main thing. It's just the heavy. We don't really get a sense of why he's um so invested with Carver. Like near the end, after Carver gets defeated in a admittedly silly way, like brutal, but silly. Like okay, so Carver gets killed by like his. He has like this weird drill machine that I never really go into either, but he has this weird drill machine, and Bond's like puts him there and he just stands there and screams. Like maybe he felt like he didn't have time to get away, or like I feel like there was like maybe an insured shot they could have had of like him handcuffing him to it, maybe something. Um, but like that part's silly, but like the actual like idea of the death is brutal because it's like this. When I say drilling machine, it's like these three uh spinning blades essentially with like spikes on them that just think of like a really horrible dentist drill. It's like that. Um, and so after he dies, like the final battle is with Stamper, and Stamper's like, "This is for Carver." It's like, why are you so invested in Carver anyway? Like the whole place is exploding at this point. Like, why does it matter? We never really get that sense of why he's so invested with Carver, but um, maybe he just likes being evil. Uh, but yeah, the whole idea of like this is like very prescient. Like basically, like yeah, I started a war, potential world war, just so I can get the exclusive media rights. Essentially, like this whole plan, Carver's whole plan, is to start a war between China and England, and pretty much force China to like give him sole media rights over their satellites. Essentially, be like, yeah, I'll have like sole rights over their media, like owning rights for 100 years. That's it. I kind of love that. Like that's classic Bond kind of stuff. But this works, and I feel like it works now because it's still a thing. Like I could easily buy like some I don't know like Rupert Murdoch of Fox News, be like, go ahead and start a war in the Middle East, and then I'll, you know, report on it all the time, and have it all the time, and say everything about it, and control the narrative. It's almost like, let me see, what is the most played news for the military? Fox News, who reports the news in a certain way for the military to gear them up and blah blah blah. Fox News. Do they play CNN too? Maybe. Yes. Does CNN do the same? Yes. Do they more balanced? Yes. I do not like 24/7 news. I don't really like big news corporations at all. So having Carver be the villain and be a media mogul, perfect for me. Love that. Um, you see much more on my political side as these go on. Uh, um, but yeah, no, this one I think hits. And I don't want to say anything right away, but if it's not going to be my top Brosnan movie, it will be close second. Um, it really depends on how I vibe with World's Not Enough because I mentioned this in GoldenEye, but I did see it when I was little, but I was like 7, so I don't remember much. And that could be an unsung one too. I don't know. I feel like Brosnan may be like one that's full of unsung ones, and he just gets overshadowed by the height. I'd say height in quotations for GoldenEye because I do honestly feel like its ranking is like a mix of nostalgia and the popularity of the GoldenEye video game. It's kind of like how a lot of people are like, oh, my first one's the best one or whatever. Um, or like people who grew up watching Connery thinking that Goldfinger is the best Connery has to offer, which I don't think so, but if you saw my video on that, you know. Uh, but we're getting ahead of myself because I still have 2 more left. And I don't think my. Actually, I think. How do I want to phrase this? I think once I finally get to Die Another Day, my ranking of that will, or my viewing, my how I view it, will change in a different way. You'll see. You'll see. I used to love Die Another Day for fun reasons. I may like it for different reasons now. I've been hating at it forever, but I legit do actually love Die Another Day. Um, Partly nostalgia, partly because I actually think it does what it's supposed to in a weird way. But we'll get to that. And that is for later. Um, no, this one, okay, back to this one real quick because I'm all over the place. But I don't know. It's hard to explain why this one really hits for me because like it really is just a vibe I got just almost instant. Just like this may be his best, maybe his best. Don't know yet. I we'll get back to on that, but it's one of those ones where it's like this is a really good interpretation of Bond. This hits all the notes. I love the villain. Yes, the henchmen aren't as good. Yes, I feel like that it's rare. It's rare when I think the main villain and the henchman all hit at the same time. I think for me the only time that's happened tw twice now, maybe like twice now. I think maybe the twice, 3 times. Now that I think about it, maybe 3 times because if I had to think about it 3 times where all the villains and their henchmen hit perfectly is from Russia with Love, maybe on Her Majesty's, maybe, maybe. Um, Live and Let Die and A View to a Kill. Like those are the ones that I think like where the henchmen and the villains are all top notch. Like there's no bad ones in the bunch. But generally, like either the villain's really good, the main villain's really good, or the henchmen are really good, or you get a case with like um, Living Daylights where there's like 2 villains, but they're both kind of equal. You don't really know who's the main villain. Like you have the heavy, but the smart, but they're kind of filling the same role. Um, But this one, great villain. I would say one really good henchman, and then just one and be like, oh yeah, that guy. I recognize him from stuff. Um, yeah, all the like I said, like all the action scenes hit. Um, all the actors are great in it. All the characters hit. I really feel like this is like the start of like Brosnan getting in to that role, like him really feeling like he can open up, try and have fun and stuff like that. Like he's having fun driving the car, even. You can see that. No, yeah, I really liked it. Sorry, I do have this time where I get really excited, then I pretty much just blank out entirely. Um, that's either going to be the case for me. Um, yeah, like I said, I don't want to say this is my favorite just yet. It's definitely top 3 out of 4. That's for sure. Take that as you will. But it's going to be either one or two, probably. It's either going to be my top or my second. I'm just saying that now. But maybe tomorrow, depending on how tomorrow plays, I will maybe watch World's Not Enough. If not, then it actually may be a bit because Thursday has its own things, but like tomorrow may have its own things, but Friday I have wrestling to watch, and Saturday I may be watching The Long Walk or Toy Story's back in theaters. So expect the next video either during the weekend, depending, or at the end of the weekend, maybe Sunday at the latest. If not, maybe a Tuesday. I don't want it to be a Tuesday. I'd rather Tuesday be Tuesday, Wednesday. Like hopefully, I'm hoping by next week to be done with Brosnan. By the end, that we can at least have the rankings done. I'm hoping for that because my idea plan is to be done with Bond almost entirely by the end of September. Then October can come around. I can go back to horror maybe. Um, but that's my plan. I'm hoping to be done uh, by then. But life will life. But until then.